Welcome back to Tag Team Talk, the original Tag Team Talk, the first to do it. With me is Justin, Kingmaker _ DFF. How are you doing, man?
I am doing awesome. Oh, we're getting closer, a little closer to WrestleMania, man. We'll see how all these matches and all these storylines are going to play out. But overall, I'm doing pretty good.
Good. Ditto. And with us is a stranger. He is the final boss, our final boss. He is the Curtis, the C and CPN. Finally graced us with descended from his throne to join us on our show. How are you doing, man?
Doing good. I felt like it was a good day to come hop on a pod. Shaved off the chin. Now I just got the stash. I feel like I'm ready to start blowing some whistles and throwing some flags at motherfuckers, or at the very least, trying to do something ravishing.
Just missing the big glasses and the motorcycle, and you'll be ready to pull over some bad guys.
That's right. See me in the new Chips movie,
starring Curtis Brown of CPN.
The Curtis,
the final boss of CPN.
Which we haven't got a lot of lately. We haven't got a lot of final boss.
Yeah, we have.
Are they trying to save that for Mania or what?
Who knows? Who knows what they're going to do with him?
I've heard that they're keeping his appearances under like lock and key, need to know basis.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't be surprised.
When you're on the board, you can kind of do that. Yeah, that would be interesting to see if at all how they're gonna tie him back into all that stuff with the Cena stuff, because we've seen a lot of Cena and doing his little promos and all that, the heel Cena stuff. So
this week we got kind of withdrawals. Like they neither of them were around. Neither of them made an appearance, and I'm just wondering if like maybe The Rock is gonna show up in Mania to kind of help Cena, like put the finishing touches on the match, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Which
just to kind of help Cena get over.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, if Rock shows up, I definitely think Cena is gonna end up with the belt somehow.
Yeah,
like some sort of screw job,
as he should. I'm in full swing. Like, I would hate for all this to build up just to. I mean, like Cody Rhodes, he's good, but it's very still. I don't know. He puts on good matches, but it's just like it's very. He's just not that entertaining. I don't know. Like his entrance is cool, but
he's getting better. But I feel like Cody's the new John Cena. Like the kids love him. They're dressing up like him. Like, I mean, he's that big baby face. Like he's what the company wants to push right now, which is cool. Like, cool, do your thing. But I'm glad they're not doing like the very super. Let's go after the toddlers kind of Cody Rhodes. He's. Like you said in another episode, Jeff, like he's forcing these swear words where they don't seem natural when you talk. He's forcing them, which you're right. I mean, it seems like there's a hair, put a little ass on that one. Of course that's a horrible Vince voice that he's not there anymore. But
say shit.
Yeah, it's like Cody doesn't know how, so it hurts his soul whenever he does have to say a cuss word. Oh wait, he doesn't have a soul. The fans already have his soul.
Yeah, he already sold his soul to the fans.
He sold his soul to the fans. That's right. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
So,
what was the price? Did he mention?
Did he sold his soul to? Or are we talking about Cena's soul or Cody's soul?
No, Cody's soul. If he sold it to the fans, what did they pay for?
Yeah. What did they get out of that? That's a good question.
Huh. Anyway,
who knows?
Old fucking.
They got pyros and neck tattoos.
All the neck tats.
All this talk of soul selling, there better be an Undertaker sighting at WrestleMania.
Bro, yes. Like Taker just show up to take Cena's soul or something,
Yeah.
Like, I mean, that would be like it. Like Cena wins the match, and it's like, okay, now it's time to get your soul.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like they've kind of just skip that part of the storyline now because I haven't like mentioned it at all. It's just been Cena's like, I turned heel because of you, the fans, and he hasn't mentioned Rock, hasn't mentioned anything about it. So I don't know if they just kind of
like what are you getting? Like don't just say because the fans, like you got something out of that deal. Like we need to know, what did you get out of this deal? You know, but I think we all kind of figure it's a screw job at Mania, and he's going to end up with the belt somehow.
What is the favor?
Yeah, exactly.
There's
don't forget,
so many favors to be dished out. I'm so confused at which one.
Well, don't forget, Rock at one point was at the other end of that when he turned what, heel or corporate Rock or whatever like that at Survivor Series. So he knows about that. He knows about selling his soul.
Yeah.
But I don't know. But what did we think about SmackDown in the old Chi-Town?
Personally,
Punk's going to be there. It's Chicago.
Well, yeah. I actually felt that this SmackDown was better than Raw. Like I felt Raw was just kind of, I don't know. I didn't like the way that SmackDown kicked off. Like, okay, we're gonna finally figure out what this favor is, and he's like, oh, Roman's not here. Well, you let me know when he decides to show up, and then everyone will know what the favor is. So it's like they just kept prolonging this, and we all kind of already knew what the favor was gonna be.
Yeah.
Like it really wasn't that big of a secret anyway.
Like with the history of Heyman and Punk, you kind of
knew. And you kind of hope that this storyline is going somewhere. Otherwise, it's just like I hope this isn't just like, oh, the storyline's over at WrestleMania and they just kind of hit the reset button like they tend to do to some of these storylines.
I mean, they could, with all the stuff, especially with the history between Seth and Roman, they can keep this going. Because there is so much bad blood between Seth and Roman, and then you've got all the recent bad blood between Seth and Punk. Yeah. So I think if they want to keep that like love triangle going, they're gonna have to build more heat between Punk and Roman. So
yeah. And Paul Heyman is so great on the mic. Like when he was doing his little delivery and trying to figure out the favor and whatever, or trying to whatever, doing his thing. Yeah. He tells the crowd, he's like, oh yeah, when I got fired, and he looks at the crowd, don't laugh at that.
Yeah, that was fun.
And everything that he says is just so fluid and so like Paul Heyman is a master at this shit. And
well, that's why they put guys like Brock and Roman with them, because they were such big powerhouses and they were wanting to be pushed, but they couldn't talk worth the crap. Yeah. And now Brock was doing some of his best work when he was Cowboy Brock. Like just having fun, cutting up, and like you can see his development from when he was, here comes the pain kind of guy, where he didn't really talk. He just did his little jump, and then Paul Heyman did all the talking, to now where Brock can stand on his own 2 feet and have his own promos and just be exciting on the mic, really. Same thing with Roman. Like Paul's gotten Roman to a spot to where he can talk on his own. He's kind of funny, things like that. So. Yeah, I mean, I think you keep using Paul Heyman, milk that cow as long as it will produce. You know what I mean?
And there's a lot of people speculating that like what is actually going to come of this. It's like basically going to be a Paul Heyman custody match, and they're wondering like, what if, because of how Roman Reigns treated Paul Heyman and how didn't really come to his aid whenever all that shit was going on with the bloodline and And of course, CM Punk really wasn't there either. And the only reason that he did turn up was to get a favor. So it's like, what if like Paul Heyman either A, decides to side with Seth Rollins at the end of this, or like he just needs help in general and Brock Lesnar comes back. Like there's been a few speculations as to how this match at WrestleMania will play out. And with it being a headlining match, right as it stands, this doesn't scream like WrestleMania headlining match. It's just, I feel like they're going to do something else at Mania with this.
Yeah, I mean, and there was a mention that we'll get to later on, but there was a mention about maybe some troubling issues that were never addressed with Paul Heyman and Roman Reigns. I don't know if y'all caught that little comment on Raw, but that's something I'll bring up later on. I don't want to get too ahead of ourselves here. But yeah, there's definitely going to be some things I think coming if what I'm reading is correct here. I could be wrong. But I don't think Triple H is one to just like put something out there and never talk about it again. I think he's kind of looking at the Marvel platform, like Marvel put a little nugget in, and then 6 years later they'll pay it off. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it definitely feels like they're building some storylines from the past. They keep that was one big issue that I had with like the whole Vince McMahon era was they didn't like it seemed like once they moved to another storyline, they just scrapped the old storyline. So none of that shit mattered, and they just kept, there was a lot of things going on with
like
Cena
all that
and Orton.
Beef or all that relationship building. It's just gone
out the window.
Yeah, exactly. It doesn't.
Once
it
hit that final thing, it was scrapped, and then they'd like, they'll forget anyway. And now it's like, okay, this happened with the Shield, and it's just like long-term story.
They keep doing the loyalty thing and all that. So I like that. But but Triple H was actually like a character. I mean, I get the Mr. McMahon also, but he also wrote the show and all that stuff like that. But I feel like Triple H and his team are more in touch with pop culture and what the fans are talking about and all that stuff like that. So I don't think we're gonna have. Well, we've already seen we're not, but I don't think long term. I don't think we're gonna go back to the same dull product that Vince was putting out there the last 10, 15 years, something like that. But
yeah.
I mean, speaking of storyline, we finally get a new face on screen. Penta's brother, actually. A lot of people don't know who Rey Fenix is. Him and Penta were in AEW together as a tag team against some guy. What? Nathan Frazier? I'm assuming he's some local jobber.
NXT.
He's an NXT guy?
Yeah.
Okay. I've never heard of him. I don't watch a lot of NXT other than I see some of the bigger names and stuff like that. What'd you think about that? Because he didn't look bad. Nathan Frazier, it
was actually one of the better matches of the night. Like surprisingly, I'm like, they're going to push this new guy, and also here's a guy that he's just going to beat up. But it really didn't pan out like that. It doesn't seem like they're doing that anymore either. Like they're just not putting somebody out there just for a guy to slaughter in his debut. Like it just seems like, okay, well, if they're going to do a debut, they're going to do it big, and they're going to put on a good match. And there was a couple of botches in it, but.
With those high flyers, though, they're gonna, you're gonna catch your toe in the rope sometimes. Like my biggest comment here is I have excellent showcase for both superstars.
Yeah,
because I thought it was. I thought it showcased both of them very well, and for them to bring up an NXT guy, kind of, so most people who watch WWE, they're not gonna watch NXT, but you have your hardcores that will, right? But so the people who don't know Nathan Frazier, I thought this was really cool that they brought a guy up from NXT and actually gave him some time and didn't squash match him like you said. I thought it was pretty cool on their part. And they gave us an entertaining match from two new faces.
Yeah, it was good. I don't know, man. Yeah, LA Knight, he's so good on the mic. He just is. And they finally put Tama Tonga in the ring solo against LA Knight. Of course, Solo was there, kind of ran an interference, and it was a decent match. And LA Knight got the victory on it, which going into WrestleMania, you don't really kind of expect that to happen.
Yeah, you want to stay strong.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, it was another
look for LA Knight to be pushed a little higher too, bro. Like. Yeah. He's got a lot of push behind him. I kind of hate to see Tama Tonga just kind of irrelevant because he was so good in New Japan. I mean, I wasn't that familiar with his stuff, but like he was good. He was super over and all that stuff. Like when they brought him in, like he got a huge pop. Mm-hmm. I mean, they definitely knew him more than they knew Jacob Fatu.
Yeah.
So
now Jacob Fatu is the guy.
Yeah, right. Yeah, him. I think we're gonna see him and Solo come to a head. So maybe Backlash.
Well, did they? Isn't it? It is Fatu and Knight at WrestleMania, isn't it?
Yeah, I believe so. Because you can tell with Fatu and Solo, there's that battle for because Solo had the Ulafala, and I think once he lost that, Fatu's like, oh, I don't respect you anymore, kind of deal. So I definitely think we're going to get a little Solo Fatu action, which I'm okay with because
it just
I think
seems
both of
like
them are pretty good.
For a while, Solo was kind of being that built up, like he's supposed to be what Fatu is right now.
Yeah.
And it just never really came to fruition.
Yeah, Solo feels like we've been putting a lot of helium in a balloon, and then we just let it all out.
Yeah, because you made him to be this like super heel mob boss kind of Samoan, and then now like, boom, he loses Ulafala, and now he's a nobody.
Yeah,
if you were gonna do that, there was a different way. I feel like to write that story than to just have like Fatu just punking him out all the time.
yeah.
But I mean, I guess you could kind of go both ways on that because when you don't respect somebody, you do make comments and you do things like that. So I mean, I can see where they're going with that side as well. But you built Solo up so much, like to the point where you were having him versus Roman Reigns. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
But
the fall off was crazy.
Yeah, I mean, I'm still in the bandwagon of the bloodline. Like, I wouldn't mind seeing there be like a what's the word? What's the word I'm looking for? Reconciliation. I wouldn't mind seeing that, because like family, man, like
yeah.
I get it, struggle for power, but family at the end of the day.
Yeah. Yeah, I think what's gonna eventually happen is that Fatu and Tama Tonga and Tongaloa, they're going to completely turn on Solo. And then you've got Jimmy and Jay who are going to pop up to aid him.
Yeah.
And then we'll have the complete OG bloodline, eventually working its way back together. But Reigns, it kind of feels like he's on the way out.
You think so?
I think so. I think with the last several years, he's been working the limited dates.
Yeah.
He's said as much that, you're not measuring in the rest of his career in decades anymore. You're measuring it in years.
Which is weird because when he came back from, I mean, he won the Ulafala, like he looks leaner. I mean, he just looks like he's having a good time. I mean, this is the Roman Reigns that I've been wanting to see for a long time, not the one that Vince tried to push on us, 10 years ago.
True, but I also think if you look at him at the beginning of the Bloodline story, sorry, pardon me.
It's late.
Now he's doing the same kind of like sunken in eye thing that Edge went through.
Oh yeah.
And that's how you can tell.
Well, he came in like kind of older. He wasn't 20 when he came in, like some of these guys, so I think he was already like 30 when he came in or something like that, wasn't he? Like when the Shield debuted kind of deal?
He was probably in his late.
The Shield run was, gosh, a while, wasn't it? Like, so I miss some of that Shield stuff, but the Shield run was lasted.
Shield was right before Punk left.
Okay, so he's been around a while. So if he came in around, let's just say 30, then yeah. So I mean, he's pushing over 40 right now, if that's the situation.
Yeah.
Can't imagine that's easy on the body. Plus the leukemia stuff, and so that's going to take a large toll on your body. So I mean, I'm with you, but they need to start setting that up now. Like, okay, what are you doing with these guys? Do you want them to maintain that faction, the Bloodline faction, or do you want to just disband everybody? Because if so, then we probably need to start seeing how that's going to play out. Because Tama Tonga, I mean, he looked good versus LA Knight. It was a great match. So I mean, he can be a solo guy, but as we see, he can also play that faction role too. I just don't want him to turn into the X-Pac, where he's only relevant if he's with somebody.
It seems like with this storytelling that they have strayed away from the whole bloodline storyline. Like they're not talking about, oh, we're the bloodline, the OG bloodline. We're not it's the OTC, and he's kind of standing on an island alone. Jimmy and Jay are off doing their own thing as brothers.
Yeah.
and like the new bloodline or whatever they're fighting. So it's like there really just isn't a bloodline anymore, and it already seems like that they haven't really said it, but they've already kind of just split that apart.
Yeah.
But I think all of that is to set up like a bigger thing.
Like a reuniting or what?
Reuniting. I liked the word earlier you used, reconciliation. I think before all is said and done, maybe not this WrestleMania, but the next WrestleMania, there will no longer be an island of relevancy. It'll be the island of reconciliation.
There we go. I like that. I mean, I'd like to see that for sure.
Yeah,
but then because I mean, gosh, dude, if you thought the Shield was the most dominant, dude, the Bloodline, because there's a couple more people coming in from the blood, like they're from that real bloodline that are still coming up, so they could keep this thing going for a long time. I mean, many WrestleManias,
and I still think we have Rock versus Roman on the docket for next Mania.
Oh, he still wants to do that. He was kind of pissed, like low key pissed when they listened to the fans and wanted Cody, bro. Like, because he went on a couple shows. I think he was on Logan Paul too, calling the Cody Crybabies. He was joking, but he was serious at the same time. Like he really wanted Roman at WrestleMania. I think Rock just wants to be like WrestleMania, like 1-on-1 again, because he tagged with Roman, but I think he wants the spotlight again, man. So I think he was a little butthurt when they gave it to Cody.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. We'll see how that goes. But yeah, after what we had after LA Knight and Tonga,
we had Charlotte.
We had Heyman again, didn't we? Didn't Paul Heyman?
I think that was at the end.
Right. Because Paul Heyman was in the garage at the ramp, remember?
Oh, yeah.
And he was waiting on Roman to show up. And then who would get come out of the Suburban?
Forgot about that, yeah.
Mr. himself. Hey, but we get it, though. Like, Heyman agreed to the favor. Like, he's like, look, whatever it is, man, I agree. But Seth just sitting there poking that, just doing that Seth Rollins thing, man. Like, hey, some people don't like him. I like Seth Rollins. Like, I'm sad that I missed, his debut and the whole Shield run and stuff like that. I think Seth Rollins is good at this. Like, this dude was born to be a superstar.
He's a good troll. It is.
And he knows how to troll. And it don't matter what he does. The fans are still behind him. Like, that dude's like he's so over. I don't know how else to put it. He's just so over. I hate to use the mark word, as some of these people like Matt Cardona likes to call people marks. It's like, bro, it's the internet. Everybody knows about wrestling now. Like, they're not marks. That's different. But you said Flair and Stratton, right?
Yeah. It was they just kind of had a back and forth with Wade Barrett in the ring. And
is that the promo that we were talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so they were both dressed the exact same, which is weird.
If anybody wants to try to watch that again, they took out Charlotte's part.
Yeah.
Oh, you talking about where she went off script?
The DMs.
Oh, they totally went off script, and it was obvious. Like, you could tell Charlotte was flustered.
Yeah.
Like when
she was getting like dumb.
I think Charlotte started it. I think she started it. But if you notice, like, the fans are not behind Charlotte anymore, at all.
She looks terrible. Like, let's be honest.
Sickly.
Like, it's
like kind of sickly.
Like
Don't let me mean. Yeah.
Yeah, she looks sickly. And she was getting booed so bad, it was flustered and whatever. And she was like, I'll let you have the last word, Tiffany. And she just started trying to squeal and mock her. And Tiffany just kind of, I think she went off script too and just kind of laid into her like, oh, yeah, what are you outside of the ring? 0-3. And she threw the microphone at her. Yeah.
Yep.
And then she's like, Kaiser's in my DMs. That was such a, like, rubber and glue. Like,
right.
It's just. It was a terrible little comeback. And she's fucking 40 something. She sounded like a toddler when she did it. It was just the whole Charlotte. She looked awful.
Yeah, it wasn't a good look for Charlotte because you can definitely tell like she was confused. Like, one, she was confused that the fans were not on her side. That threw her off. Because she started doing that like panic smile, like oh my god, what am I gonna do? What am I gonna do? And then that's when she decided, okay, I gotta dig deep in this bag. This script ain't gonna work. And I think that's when she decided to get personal with Tiffany, but she couldn't handle Tiffany firing back.
Well, Tiffany hit her with that, what were you doing, Charlotte Flair, at 25? And it's like, I'm going into WrestleMania as a women's champion,
playing volleyball and getting drunk in your daddy's basement.
So maybe Tiffany was the one that went off first, but who gives a shit? Because, dude, Charlotte Flair looked terrible.
Right. But as professionals, like if you're going to claim to be the greatest of all time, the queen, like you've got to maintain like that. You got to keep being professional there. But it was like, anybody who knows how like similar about how these promos, not to say like we're in the business, we're not, we're just experienced spectators, but it was just, if I had popcorn, bro, I'd have been like, oh my God, this is getting really real right now. You know what I mean? But yeah, talking about crying on a talk show about her marriages, and I was just so astounded that the crowd was just booing Flair so bad, man. Like, because she's always been super over until now. But the fans, I think the fans are seeing what we're seeing, like they're seeing that, hey, this ain't the same person anymore. Maybe she's past her prime. Because like we talked about before, Jeff, like she doesn't look formidable anymore because she's so skinny. And if that's what she's going for, great. But you can't expect to still come in and think you're this super in shape, muscular athlete, and then you're not. Tiffany's got the muscles. She's doing everything that she can do correctly to have the physique to present herself as a formidable opponent. And
the whole realism of this thing, like I know it's supposed to like put fan, like just use your imagination, like you're watching a Spider-Man movie, like suspend belief, but it's like no one in their right mind is going to believe that Kaiser would leave Tiffany for Charlotte Flair.
Crazy. That fool ain't. That fool.
Maybe back in her prime, not now.
Yeah. Not now.
I've never really found Charlotte Flair attractive except for the first time I ever saw her at Ric Flair's retirement match at WrestleMania, whatever, against Shawn Michaels. That was
when she looked like a normal person.
I've ever seen her.
Well, and that's what I don't get. Some of these, especially the females. Like I'm pick on the females for a second, but they already have this natural beauty. Why do you want to go and put all this Botox in you and all that stuff like that? Because if you look at Charlotte's face now, compared to Charlotte, 6 years ago, they look different.
Yeah.
Like she's got the obvious Botox lips. And I think people know what I mean by that. And it's just, I don't get it, man. Like, I don't know why these beautiful women want to think that they're not. Like, who's back there telling them, hey, you should do this? Like, shut your ass up.
Other
like
women.
Natalia did it. Like, other women. Yeah, women. Stop being mean to each other.
Women hate women.
Right. But yet men are horrible. Come on. Whatever. But yeah, like it was good to build up Tiffany as a character. I'm curious to see how much of an ass chewing they both got when they got back to Gorilla. Because Charlotte should know better. She's been around long enough. She should know better.
Yeah.
Tiffany, at least you can give her a little excuse. One, she is 25 and she hasn't been in the business that long. So you can kind of give her a pass. But Charlotte, you got to be more professional in that. If I still consider Charlotte the greatest of all time. But that's me, and I understand there's an argument to be made there. But I'm glad to have that discussion with anybody. But yeah,
I disagree.
What'd you say?
She was handed so many titles because of the name. I don't agree with it.
I think to begin, yes, I do agree with that. I think to start off, the Flair thing definitely helped her out. But once she started proving herself, because like there's no denying, like she was a phenomenal athlete. And I think in her prime, like legit, she should have been the champion for as long as she wanted to be in her prime. But that prime's gone. Like this is the demise of Charlotte Flair right now at this point in time. Now this could change, but
can you imagine that after that promo, if Triple H puts the title back on Flair, like that stadium might riot.
I don't I don't think at this point you can. I don't think you can.
No.
Seeing how she froze up and panicked in the ring like that, and the negative reaction that Charlotte got compared to the huge pop that Tiffany got. You don't do that. Not at Mania. Maybe do that at like a smaller pay-per-view, or what do they call them, PLEs now? Like maybe do that then, but no, I think you stick with Tiffany right now. Like you got to ride that out.
So apparently I missed it, and I've been missing all of these. And I just saw that apparently there was some like cryptic teaser before the segment with Tiffany and Charlotte, and I keep missing them.
Oh, like a little, like a glitchy kind of mess.
Yeah, like there's a crypt for someone before that segment.
Bliss.
Do what?
It's who?
Alexa Bliss.
Is it?
Oh, okay. Well, they're bringing back Crazy Bliss or something.
They're bringing back. So they were before Alexa Bliss disappeared. She was in the middle of the whole weird Bray Wyatt inspired character.
Yeah.
And then the Wyatt Six came back, and then now there's nothing that they can do right now with the Wyatt Six until they're ready to bring back Alexa Bliss in a more full-time capacity. So they're just waiting on Alexa Bliss. That is the teaser for those people.
Do you think
Alexa
she's going
Bliss
to
will
be
basically-
the reincarnation of Sister Abigail, or the possession of Sister Abigail?
Correct.
So did they just get rid of that other chick then, or what?
No, the other chick, Nikki Cross, is she's still in it, but I can't remember what her character's name is.
Ooh, I don't know.
She's
The
not
only one from that group that I know was that Sarah girl who is now Valhalla, or she was Valhalla. They stopped. I don't know why she's not with
Well,
the
they're not
War
the
Raiders
they're not the
anymore.
they're not because they were the Viking Raiders and they had the antler things,
Oh, that's
and now
right,
they're the
yeah.
War Raiders.
She was good. I mean, I didn't mind her even when she was with her faction and stuff. I didn't mind her, but
The best thing of
I
that
don't
was when
remember
Michael
what
Cole
Nikki
had the
Cross
antlers on.
was. Oh yeah. I don't remember what they renamed Nikki Cross, but I mean Nikki Cross always had that psychopath kind of thing, like something was wrong there.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So to put her with the White Six, that made sense to me.
Yeah.
But I don't think there needs to be just one female. Like you can have multiple females in that faction.
Well, they had what was that weird psychopath killer guy that had a feud with
Oh, he was awesome, dude.
Yeah.
He played a stalker and all that stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's there. Obviously, Bray Wyatt's brother, Bo Dallas, old Eric Rowan.
Eric Rowan, yeah.
And they brought John Gacy or whatever the fuck his name is.
Yeah.
From NXT up. So I think that's what those cryptic messages are. It always is like a QR code that you can scan, which will take you to a website, which will give you a hint. And then next week, there'll be another hint randomly thrown in there. That's what it is. I think the last time when the Wyatt Six came back, they had done like 4 or 5 of those. So just keep looking out for those, and let us know.
They're just little flashes in the screen, right? If I remember correctly, they're just like little little flashes on the screen that you have to like pause and rewind and
yeah,
that's cool, man. I like that.
Yeah, interactive.
Yeah.
So all this leads into the there was a tag team match. Or not, DIY Motor Machine Gun, whatever.
Motor City Machine Guns or
Motor City Machine Gun. Thank you.
And
I don't.
Which I didn't realize how old those guys are.
Yeah.
Like I didn't realize. I guess what were they, like TNA guys or something, or wherever they came from?
TNA guys.
Okay. Yeah, I didn't realize they were like such old guys. Mm-hmm. But then again, you look at DIY, I mean, they're not young either. They've been around a long time.
And Tommaso Ciampa, I saw a video the other day. It was like the first time Tommaso Ciampa was on TV, and he's got a full head of hair, and he's like, the security guys that always come out like a random.
Always.
Yeah, he was one of those. Full head of hair. He looked like just a completely different person because he didn't have any of the facial hair.
That's so funny. Yeah, wasn't Gargano like his first or Gargano like his first appearance? He was like a German leprechaun or something like that.
Probably, I could see.
Like there's a so look that up. That's hilarious. Like he's coming out all like kind of la la la. But yeah, like this. I mean, it was good, but I mean, you could definitely tell both teams have a lot of chemistry together. I mean, we know DIY does. From their time in NXT and then their main roster time. I mean, they're legit best friends, so that helps. Always helps when the tag team is legit best friends.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I wouldn't mind seeing this again. I mean, the winner of that was a number one contenders match, wasn't it?
Not mistaken. Yeah.
So they were faced Street Profits, which they were out watching the match. That's one of those situations. So they're going to talk their crap to each other and all that. So that was kind of cool. So we'll get that at Mania. I would have much rather see DIY. What about y'all?
I felt like we already saw that, though. I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, I think last year, wasn't it like a 4-pack tag team scramble?
It was like something like that.
It was like
I'm saying, didn't Street Profits have to beat DIY to get him?
I think so, yeah.
So
I just feel like they're pushing the Motor City Machine Guns because they're the new guys, the new faces in town, So they're trying to push them for the fans. I mean, they are exciting to watch. I'm not taking that away. Like, they are very exciting to watch. But I don't know. As far as like this whole tag team stuff that they have going right now, I'm not that invested, to be honest. I'm just not.
Me either.
It's a fun match, but I'm just not invested. There's not enough storyline there to keep me involved.
No, I feel like they're really, really good at telling main event stories. Yeah. Sometimes even like just under the main event stories.
Mm-hmm.
And then everything else kind of is just like, all right, what can we do?
Yeah.
Which is, it's kind of weird considering how good and crisp everything was and how well everything was put together initially.
Yeah.
And I wonder if Trips and his group are kind of running out of steam a little bit.
Oh, like they pushed too hard. Yeah, I mean,
not even like push too hard, like, all the best ideas that they had have already been done. And now that's why you see Road Dogg officially writing for SmackDown again.
Yeah. I mean, at this point in time, everything kind of has been done. It's just how you rebrand it and put another little twist on it, things like that. Because I mean, it's been so long. I mean, there's not really a new storyline to come up with. You can't even do the super extreme right wing stuff because they already did it with Jack Swagger when he was doing the We the People stuff.
Yeah.
So like, it's just the same story.
Grande Americano, baby.
Yeah, right.
I think it's Jack Swagger.
Yeah, it's definitely Jack Swagger, a 2 foot tall version of Jack Swagger.
Or it's Kurt Angle. That's what it is.
Oh man, no, it's not enough knee bend. And
there was some smart asses. I think the Great Khali is back. Fucking idiots.
I love the fact that they're doing that, which I know that's we're getting ahead of ourselves on that, but I love the fact that they're making it obvious, but still playing it like being funny about it. Like, I wonder who it could be.
Yeah,
I love it, even though everybody knows, but they're still playing it off. I think that's great storytelling.
Yeah,
right there.
And they've kind of done that in the past, like when they had
Hulk Hogan. Remember him?
Dress up as the Patriot.
Yeah, he was like Mr. America, or
when Hulk Hogan wore the mask.
Yeah,
someone else said it was Hulk Hogan.
The Patriot.
The Patriot. That's what it was. Yeah.
He literally didn't change anything else. He just put on different clothes and a mask.
They're doing the exact same thing. And that's exactly what we're talking about. They're using the same storyline, just rebranding it. Because didn't Hogan get fired? Isn't that why they did that? They fired Hogan, and then so he came back with the mask on. It's like, oh, this isn't Hogan. Even like, the mustache and he did everything the same.
Doing the exact same shit.
Hey, but this guy speaks
jokes
Spanish.
In the NFL.
This guy is not, it's not Chad Gable. Gracias.
It's not Chad Gable. Chad Gable doesn't know Spanish.
Yeah. Oh man. So we got the tag team match at Mania that no one's invested in.
Not really. No. And then you had another match that no one was invested in, and it was B-Fab versus Naomi.
Why are they pushing B-Fab? I just don't think she's that talented, man. Like Naomi, super talented. I'm just not invested in B-Fab, man. I'm sorry. I get it. She was attacked, and then she's getting redemption and all that stuff like that. But
the saving grace of this, I mean, Naomi won, but the saving grace of this is that they tabbed Naomi and Cargill for Mania. So it'll be a non-title match between her and Cargill. So that's, I don't know, take it as you want.
I mean, I think it's going to be a lot of ass beating because they've done a good job here with building that hatred with each other. I mean, I can't call it a rivalry because they haven't had a match yet, but they're building that hatred, which is good. That's what you want going in.
Yeah.
So,
and then
you're not really getting one over the other either. You're just getting like doing those fighting and then being broken up. So it's not like you say, oh, Jade's been beating her ass every time, or Naomi's been beating her ass every time. You haven't been having that. So I think that's cool because now there's still that mystery of like, okay, who is better? But I don't know. I love the work that Jay's doing. Me personally.
Yeah.
And she's very young.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, she like her first year and a half in AEW was her first year and a half in wrestling, period.
Oh, wow. So they just took a risk on an athlete with an amazing physique, and here she is to the moon.
Yeah.
Wow, that's awesome. I didn't realize that. I didn't really follow AEW that strongly. So all the fans out there, please excuse me on that.
The reason that Bianca and Jade Cargill were teamed up at any point was because they wanted Bianca to help her polish Jade off, help the little things.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Well, maybe they can figure that out with BFAB and make her interesting because there's nothing there to cling on to. I think this was a filler match, like Jeff likes to call it, just a filler match. It's a filler. Time to go to the bathroom, get some nachos or another beer or something like that.
It's like one of those, supernatural episodes that didn't really develop anything, and it was just, we need to fill the show with 20 episodes somehow, so here's just a thing.
Yeah. I can remember a couple full seasons of Smallville being that way. Yeah.
Shots fired.
Shots fired, which I love that show, by the way. Don't get me wrong. But yeah, all this made it official. Jade and Naomi at Mania, so we'll get to see that. Naomi looks super violent against K-Fab though, or what's her name? B-Fab?
K-Fab, J-Fab.
Can you imagine somebody's name being K-Fab or K-Fab? So I mean, if Naomi can keep that aggression going into Mania versus Jade, we could be in for something pretty good, man.
Yep.
That kind of leads me to a while back, and this is just long-term storytelling. A while back, long while ago, Randy Orton RKO'd Nick Aldis, and he was charged a fine. Randy Orton paid that fine and doubled it. And he was like, well, this is twice as much as the fine that, whatever. He's like, oh, this is for the next time.
Yep. Yeah.
That time finally came and went. Kevin Owens came out, and who knows if this is a play. Right now, Orton doesn't have a match at Mania because Kevin Owens says he has a neck injury and says he needs surgery. He walked out, a crowd got, or, a guy, I think it was a plant, to kind of, he was just kind of, what are you doing the Steve Carell thing or what?
Can you see me good? Hello?
But yeah, he got into
you think that was a plan?
Fan, probably, because I feel like Orton's going to come out or maybe have another match, just to appease Orton, and Kevin Owens is going to do something at Mania to try and build this, whatever. Maybe he's telling the truth, who knows? Or time off, whatever the hell you want to call it. Maybe he actually does have an injury.
Well, not before Mania. They would never do that. They would never. Yeah. I don't think they would ever okay, you get some time off, unless like a crazy life situation, like somebody in the family, a kid, a mom, something like that. But as far as the person in the crowd, it didn't seem like he was looking for that person as he was walking. It was like he heard something and he had to turn back. I think somebody said something a little personal, I think.
Yeah.
And that really pissed him off, because at the end of the day, he's still a person. But I don't know, if it wasn't Kevin Owens, then I'd be like, oh man, hope they get better. But it's Kevin Owens. I'm like, is this a setup? Are they gonna give Randy another opponent and he's gonna come out and screw Randy again?
Yeah.
Yeah. but I don't want to be the guy to just assume that he's lying.
It's like Orton is one of those guys you don't hold out a Mania either. Like
Yeah,
he should be higher up on the card than not having a match at all.
I don't. What if they bring Brock back and Randy gets his redemption? Because you remember what Brock did to Randy at SummerSlam? Just beat the mess out of him, got him bloody, and then I don't know if that was a botch or what, but that just seemed crazy. So
yeah,
I don't know, man. But it's a little late to be trying to build up that. You got what, 12 days, 11 days left until Mania? You got to do something with Randy. Yeah. You can't hold him out, man. That's cold.
Yeah. I could see a world where Randy Orton finds himself involved in the John Cena Cody Rhodes match, to defend Cody, because obviously he's kind of come out there to say that he's in full support, and he's also said that he's after that championship.
Yeah.
I don't think he gives a crap realistically who he faces for the championship, but
I think he would rather it be Cena.
I don't think he would rather it be Cena.
I do. Shut up. All right.
Oh,
you are not allowed to have a different opinion on this show.
I think what's pretty likely in my mind is that Randy helps Cody maintain championship status, and then Cena's pissed off about it, and they have one more go at each other, Cena and Orton.
Mm-hmm.
And then Cena loses. Randy gets to challenge Cody again. I don't know. I mean, I
definitely think the Randy Orton Cena stuff is going to happen. Because with Cena leaving, you want to take that victory lap. I think
that'd be such a huge miss.
Yeah, that would be a huge miss because between Cena and AJ Styles had a thing for a while. Orton has always had a thing. Who am I missing? You got Cena with Rock, so you can't really do that unless Cena goes back babyface at the very end. I don't know, but there's so many things they could take a victory lap on with John Cena, and Randy Orton's got to be at the top of that list.
Yeah,
it's got to be.
So whether it evolve into something, because we already know that John Cena is on the books through next year. 2025 is the reunion. Is the farewell tour, not WrestleMania.
We have December.
Right. So we have the whole year. He's already got his appearances. So I do think, you hit the victory lap. Go for the big names. And Randy Orton's got to be at the top of that list.
I feel like John Cena wins at Mania. Orton wants the title. He wants to go for, I feel like that's the way that you have to play it. And then maybe you can kick off a feud with Punk and Cena, because they had their long going thing. Technically, Cena kind of fucked Punk at an Elimination Chamber. So,
yeah.
I mean, there's a reason for them to beef there. So I don't know.
Yeah, there's a lot of ways this could go, but I feel like, has there ever really been an altercation between The Rock and Randy Orton?
I don't think so. I think when Randy was coming in, Rock already was he was back and forth between Hollywood, between movies and stuff.
Yeah.
So I don't think they ever really crossed paths. I mean, I think when Randy was with Evolution, I think Triple H and The Rock crossed paths, but I don't think Randy was a part of that.
Yeah.
Because he was gone for a while with an injury, and they replaced him for a little bit. So no, I don't think they did. I don't think they ever crossed paths.
Because both he and Cena followed that same trajectory, and Cena didn't really cross paths until, like you said, Rock was doing the live via satellites, and they finally got a WrestleMania match and then a rematch at the next Mania. So it was I don't think Orton and Rock ever intertwined.
Yeah.
I wonder. That's what got me thinking about all of that, was just the idea of Randy Orton and The Rock staring at each other in the middle of the ring while Cody Rhodes and John Cena are just writhing on the ground in agony. And they're just like, "You gonna mess up my boy? I'm gonna mess up your boy," and and then fight. But kind of like last year's WrestleMania, where there's bloodline rules and everybody and their mother's coming out, and then the Undertaker shows up.
Yeah,
so shut the fuck up, Rock. Good
But
time.
it was fun. But Undertaker made the least amount of sense. But
in a way, it made sense for me. And the only way it made sense is because The Rock kept calling himself the final boss. And he's like, at WrestleMania, I'm the final boss, blah, blah, blah. We all know who the final boss of WrestleMania is, and it's the fucking Undertaker.
Yep. No matter what the record says.
So it made sense to me, but, I like to take mental gymnastics and run with it, okay?
Yeah.
fair enough.
It's going to be interesting to see what they do with Randy Orton. I think we'll definitely get some answers on Friday. With it being a week out, they definitely have to figure something out.
Mm-hmm.
Because you only got 2 more SmackDown shows. You got one this upcoming Friday and then one the Friday of the weekend of.
Right
so they're going to have to figure this out, man.
Yeah.
If anything. Because I doubt Randy's cool with, not having a match at WrestleMania.
I would also
just came back too.
I wouldn't be surprised if, because we didn't have a pay-per-view after the Elimination Chamber, that they kind of throw like 3 or 4 in a pretty tight window. So like literally every 4 weeks until SummerSlam.
Yeah.
Maybe sooner.
With these, but the good thing about with some of these guys like Cena and Orton and all so they already have established rivalries, so it's not going to take much to reignite that fire.
No.
So it's just going to take a couple bad interactions and boom, we're off running again.
All he needs to do is punt John Cena's dad's head again. That's it. That's all it's going to take.
And the legend killer is back, baby.
Rest in peace.
That was our show on SmackDown, wasn't it?
There was we can go over it real quick. There was Fatu and Strowman. It was just 2 big ass dudes beating the shit out of each other. It was a good match. It's what you would expect out of Fatu and Strowman.
It was good.
But Fatu did get the win. Which he's super over right now. Like everyone's liking Fatu. Like I
think they're liking him punking out Solo, bro. Mm-hmm. I think they just love that Solo's getting treated like the little brother again.
Yeah. Like he had to take a backseat to Roman, and now he has to do it to Fatu. But SmackDown came to a close where CM Punk finally revealed what we all knew. His favor was for CM Punk to be in his corner, and
Paul Heyman to be in CM Punk's
corner. I'm sorry, Paul Heyman to be in his corner, and obviously Roman Reigns wasn't happy about it, and
so this guy loves me, right?
Seth Rollins was playing his card, and he kind of punked Paul Heyman and got CM Punk to come out and did all this shit, and it really ended when Seth Rollins was about to stomp Paul Heyman, didn't, and just told him, "You owe me a favor now." And I don't know.
Oh, you talking about on Raw?
Oh, is that on Raw?
Yeah,
I'm getting it all twisted. Oh well, either way.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't like.
Well, we know everybody knows how Seth Rollins rolls, man. Seth Rollins is going to manipulate.
See,
he's doing a really good job at it.
And see, this is that division of things that I mix the shows, because there used to be these are SmackDown superstars, these are Raw superstars, and I kind of bled the story but it's the same fucking story, and they just dragged it out.
It's hard to take the draft seriously when it comes up.
Like they're already doing
it. It don't matter.
And the last draft, they were like, "This actually matters. They're actually going to stay here." It literally the next week it was not happening.
It's making it hard to just one brand. It doesn't matter because Randy Orton spent a few episodes on Raw, and it used to be just kind of a one-off thing. Like, oh, they're tag teaming with this person. This one time they're going to be on Raw. There was actually like a clear division of brands.
Yeah,
and
or back when the only people that were on both shows were the champions.
Yeah.
But that was when we only had one WWE champion, one tag team champion, all that. So, but I like the way we have it now. Like you have 2 women's champs, 2 men's champs, because then you can always go back to that. Well, who's better? Who's the real champ kind of deal. If you ever want to unite them again, but I don't think they will. I think Trips has got it pretty good right now. I'm happy with where it's at.
Yeah.
But
it's just. I think that, like I said, just because of that reason right there, they're doing the same story on both episodes, and it's like, I thought it was on SmackDown, so whatever.
It's hard when they're blurring those lines right there, but
So my bad.
Man, like I was kind of happy with the opening of Raw, man. Like, but we all saw that coming though. That contract signing.
Yeah.
That wasn't a
Yeah.
we. As soon as Rhea like did that thing on it, we're like, okay, there's no way they don't make this happen. You know?
Yeah. This has been the build for weeks now that we already knew it was going to be a triple threat. It's like, well, I need you to sign the contract, and even the commentator. No, and even the commentator though made a joke like, "Oh, they have to get all 3 signatures on the paper again because it already happened. They were already there." Like,
I guess now you actually have to have the official part that says Rhea Ripley, and then have the signature or whatever.
And it is official.
Yeah, right. It's like that's not their real names. Like we know their real names, and that doesn't make it official.
Yeah. Did you guys see the picture? So Rhea Ripley and
Buddy Murphy?
Huh? No.
Her boyfriend or husband?
Rhea Ripley and Bianca are standing in the ring, and Adam Pearce is standing in the ring, and Io Sky is like midair.
Oh,
yeah. And Adam Pearce just has this look of like, why do I even try? Perfect. Like Adam Pearce, bravo for that.
I need to look at that and find that picture. Yeah, because I feel like there's a boatload of memes to be made out of that.
Yeah, he's just holding the contract like,
the fuck do I?
What am I doing with these toddlers? And I loved it when he was like, it was my fault to think that any of you could be professional in this, and they all. What do you mean I'm not professional? Well, that's what I mean. You just proved my point. Thank you so much.
Yeah, prove my point.
Yeah,
man. I tell you what, we did get a good opening match though.
Yeah.
Was Bailey and Lyra Valkyria, right?
Yeah. I'm high up on Lyra. That was a good match.
Really good.
Apparently, that was supposed to be slated for Mania, and they pushed it.
I wonder what. Well, I mean,
that would have been a decent Mania match.
Yeah, man.
Yeah,
because then you get a super vet like Bailey, who's been to the mountaintop, and then you got Lyra, who's should be a champion at some point. Yeah, she's climbing the mountain.
I mean, she is. She's the Intercontinental, man.
And we're getting a different version of Bailey now. She's not the bubbly Bailey with all the little whatever them things were, the little arm balloon people, and then then we had super heel Bailey, emo Bailey or whatever, and then now we've got like kind of where I think she's doing her best work. She's a baby face, but she's got a little darker of a baby face, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, and you could tell,
like mature, maybe.
Yeah, like Lyra Valkyria went to shake her hand at the end of the match because it was kind of she kind of stole the match with that pin. I mean, it was all a good match, but she stole the match at the end and went to shake her hand. Bailey slapped it away and was starting to get out. She's like, you know what? Like, got in, hugged her, congratulated her, rose her hand, whatever.
Yeah,
like there's kind of a conflict going on with her. Like, do I go back to heel again? Do I?
Yeah. This is a good way to like walk that tightrope, because you could go either way. But I like the character we get with Bailey right now, and for her to put over Lyra like that, who's the women's Intercontinental champion, I think that speaks volumes of what they're trying to do with Lyra Valkyria. But it was an awesome match. I really enjoyed this match.
I didn't know about this. I was just reading. Cole apparently reminded the viewers, and I don't remember him doing this, that Bailey and Valkyria will compete in a gauntlet match for a shot at the Women's Tag Team Championship against Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez at WrestleMania. I didn't know about that.
Isn't that
Why did I not know about that?
Friday or something? It's like 4 or 5 tag team.
I did not know about that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. And then you got trying to think. I remember at the end of Mania or end of Raw, they were talking about Rey Mysterio is fighting somebody at Mania. I can't remember who it was.
Oh, I don't remember.
El Grande Americano.
Yeah.
Not Chad Gable.
The greatest lucha libre of all time.
The greatest American
hailing
lucha
from the Gulf of America. That's awesome that they put that in there. It's like, bro, you already got it super racist. Like you got like the all-American white boy versus the Hispanics, and then you're going to throw in the Gulf of America thing.
Mm-hmm.
Come on, man. We know it's happening. You don't have to keep pushing it further. But hey, great TV, I guess. It makes for great TV. But
and hey,
dude,
El Grande Americano getting those dubs, baby. The newest member of
gracias.
Gracias. I mean,
Hey.
we all know it's stupid, but it's still funny.
It's
all right?
funny, yeah. Well, and this is the comedy wrestling. You know, like you got your guys like Colt Cabana and stuff like that. They're known for their comedy wrestling. Like you got to learn, like you said, suspend belief. That's all it's about. It's a TV show.
Mhm.
So yes, we can have the serious stuff, but then there's no one saying we can't have the funny stuff too, where we know it's dumb and a joke, and we still laugh at it. Which I think that's the point we're getting with El Grande Americano, not Chad Gable.
Yeah.
Who is not Chad Gable?
And so, I mean, we might be skipping some stuff, but it's like we get to the Jey Uso confronts Gunther little segment that they did, and honestly, making them both look weak to me. I don't know. Like it's just like Gunther was standing there when Jey Uso was delivering his promo, and Gunther to me just kind of looked scared of him the whole time. The whole thing was just weird to me. And
I think what they're trying to do is make Gunther see this change in Jey, like, you know, because Jey, you know, he was tortured, you know, after just being put through that trauma. And I like that they went with the thing where he was talking about, you know, I'm not scared of you anymore, because you can see the demeanor went from like scared puppy to like he was trying to hold himself back, and he trying to, you know, hone that in so that way he can use it at Mania.
Are you comparing him to Macaulay Culkin?
Yeah, like
I'm not afraid
anymore. Right. You're right with Gunther though. Like they did kind of make him look a little weak, but I think they did it on purpose, because if you looked at Gunther's demeanor, he went from like just smiling at him and like being the bully kind of thing to like when Jey said he wasn't afraid of him anymore, Gunther was like, all right, damn, maybe I blew my plan. You know, because Jey even said, like, hey, you went too far. You had me, and you messed up.
I do like that for a while it was kind of like cheap shots from Gunther. And then the last couple of weeks they haven't been putting hands on each other. He kind of like, he handcuffed him, but they didn't fight.
Yeah.
And he used his brother as kind of a whipping boy.
Super heel move. I love it.
Yeah. Yeah, and then they stood in the ring and still didn't fight. They just had words, and really Jey Uso had words.
Yeah,
but I kind of like that. We talked about it before, where it's just kind of that build up to something, you know.
Yeah, like this was probably the ultimate way that you can get at somebody without actually putting hands on them.
Yeah,
torture his twin brother literally in front of his face at fingertips length from him, where you know he was even telling him, save him, come get him. And just right there, I love that. But anybody who's ever like been zip tied to their hands, like with those, because he used the little ones. These weren't like the police ones. Like you could just break those off. I mean, this guy's an athlete. He could have done it, but I get it's television. But you're right, though. We did get a little ahead of ourselves. We were talking about guys that are good manipulators. I don't think we can glaze over Karrion Kross, or as some people know TNA as Killer Kross. He is doing that whisper in the ear with a lot of people backstage. We saw him do it with Dominic, and that's what's getting him more heat with him and Finn. And now we see him doing it to AJ Styles. So I'm curious to see what Karrion Kross's plan is, because he talked himself into a match next week against AJ Styles. So what is he playing? Like, and I'm a Kross fan. I am. I think the dude is amazing. I like watching him and Moose and TNA. You know, I like Scarlett Bordeaux too. But I'm curious to see what they're going to do with him, because they've got to pay this off somehow, man. Like I hate for them to waste such a great talent. I mean, because if you're not going to use him, why'd you even sign him? Don't waste this dude's time.
Yeah. He definitely is being used a lot better than the old man was using him. If you guys remember how he fucking came out dressed like basically in a gimp suit.
Yeah.
But have you guys noticed it's the subtle things for Karrion Kross? He, like when he's whispering in a certain person's ear, he does this for a little period of time, but he changes his physical appearance to almost mirror in some way, shape, or form the person he's trying to woo or to manipulate. So like the moment he started trying to get at AJ Styles, his hair was down and it's straight and it looks just like AJ Styles. Like with the Miz, he was clean shaven and had his hair back all the time. Just trying to, like, in any way he can, mirror the person he's trying to get at. So I wonder if he'll grow the mustache like Dom.
Maybe. Yeah, I never put that together. That's pretty next level observation right there by Big C over here. That's pretty clever.
That's why he's the final boss.
Man, he's the C in the P in. I don't think we need to talk about American Made versus LWO. That really wasn't that great, other than El Grande Americano.
Yeah,
but
then there was the New Day and the War Raiders won, or the New Day won via disqualification, but is another like this. The tag division in Raw right now is so weak.
Yeah.
It's just it's who cares?
But Kofi's not believable as a heel. I'm sorry.
Mm-hmm.
I can't take him seriously as a heel. Like Creed, yeah, okay, I can. Because he has that like pissed off attitude, all stuff like that. Kofi's like, I can't take him seriously.
He's just always been the happy-go-lucky, like
right.
Yeah, they should have. They honestly at that point they should have split the New Day. Now they're grasping at
man. Yeah, they just need to break up New Day.
I think they're waiting to split the New Day until Big E can come back. Yeah. And Big E will be he'll put
the unifier
stamp in the chapter that is the New Day. And be like, now we're done, motherfucker. And then,
yeah, there you go. Yeah, I wasn't invested in this. I like the War Raiders. I'm not big on New Day. I wasn't big on New Day whenever they were baby faces. My kids were, because they thought the Bootios were funny.
Yeah,
the cereal and all.
They thought that was a silly gimmick.
It was a fun gimmick with the horn, but that was a Vince McMahon thing. But yeah. I'm not invested in New Day, man. As heels, especially.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I liked the way it started, and then they just didn't use them for too long.
Yeah.
And now it kind of feels forced.
Yeah.
But whatever.
Because the babyface New Day doesn't work with the way the company has gone away from appealing to 4-year-olds.
Yeah.
So it doesn't work for them anymore. So they're struggling being healed.
Yeah.
But yeah, hopefully they can figure that out. But I don't know. I like it. The finish though was cool. Like they brought the chair in and tricked Ivar into using the chair with the little gut shove, and now they get disqualified. But they're still the champs because they're disqualified.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
I hope that this version of the War Raiders actually fucking sticks, because if these dudes have to change characters one more time, I'm gonna get mad for them.
Bro, remember when they were the Viking Experience?
The Viking Experience, the Viking Raiders, the Raiders. They've already been the War Raiders before, but they were not like now they're bikers, but
weird. I thought Viking Raider was awesome. The Viking thing was great.
Mm-hmm.
These guys, when the show Vikings was still on, these guys that's when they started their gimmick. Dude, I thought that was so great because hey, they're keeping up with pop culture, such a massive show right now. These guys look like legit Vikings.
Yeah. And
it just worked. And then you had old boy's wife going out there, Sarah, whatever her name is, as a Valhalla. I was like, dude, this is genius. This is perfect. Let's keep this going. And now, which I think Ivar's wife is the aforementioned Nikki Cross. So these wrestlers just have like a big love triangle. It's like they don't know how to marry outside of the business. But then again, hey, they spend all these time with these people, so it makes sense.
I mean, you're on the road for, most of the year with these people. That is your dating pool.
Yeah,
you're not gonna be able to date a normie and then have them understand what the hell it's like to be on the road that much.
Yeah. At least you get companion and build. So I get it, but Yeah, I liked what they were doing with the Viking Raider stuff, but I'm with you, bro. Like we've had enough changes. Just keep with the War Raiders.
Stick with it. Just
Yes,
stick with it.
it's working. I mean, I'm not even against the leather jackets at this point.
No.
Like,
No, all I'm saying is just we found a thing. It seems to be working.
mhm.
Just leave it alone. You don't need to make them go bye for a little bit and then come
Right.
back as the sultans of Viking. Okay, like it's just we're good. We're good.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
We got everybody's favorite dirt stash next. I mean, Penta's blowing up, man. Like, so that's good. They're definitely pushing him a lot. But he's earned it, man. He puts on a good show.
He does.
Yeah, you had him going with Dominic Mysterio.
Bro, what was Dom wearing on his feet?
I don't know.
Were those like real Furbies that were on his feet? Did he kill a bunch of Furbies and make some boots out of them?
Probably.
That's what they look like.
Be like, nah, man. Liv gave me a bunch
mink or something.
She shaved and I made these.
Dude, okay, so it is so funny to me that Dominic does like the little arm flex and stuff, and he's so skinny. I think that's hilarious when he does that. He just walks around and he's so skinny. I crack up every time he does that.
Yeah, he's a really good heel.
Yeah.
But I mean, it was an okay match, and obviously the whole thing got kind of broke down. It, got interrupted. There was a post-match beatdown.
I love
on
Braun
Penta,
Breaker.
And then Braun Breaker comes out, and Finn Balor puts one on him. He's holding up the title, and then he's about to eat a spear. He dodges it and gets out of dodge.
Dude, that'd have been a nasty spear too. Did you see the spear that Breaker put on Carlito?
Dude,
was
nasty. Like he hit him. Dude. Braun Breaker is such an athlete. Like I don't think you're getting much closer to a young Brock Lesnar than Braun Breaker.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
just that size and speed, and
it kind of feels like the
scary
best part of his dad and his uncle.
Yes, yeah, for sure. Yeah. I like Braun Breaker. I mean, I would love to see Braun go after a bigger title than IC.
Like Breaker doing that to the jump, he jumps to the top rope and does that move. Like that big dude should not be moving like that. Like that's craziness.
Yeah, that's a freak.
That's some El Grande Americano Lucha Libre stuff right there. He shouldn't be able to do that.
The genetic freak.
Yeah, crazy. I would love to see him and like Fatu go at it at one point. I think that'd be a fun match too.
Dude, I don't know if y'all caught this or not, but Balor's kind of lost some affair with the fans, because when he took the title, the IC title, and did the whole raise up, like, yo, I'm gonna be the champ or whatever, like crickets. It was quiet.
Yeah.
And
he's gonna have to go back to like the Demon Balor or something like that. Like he's gonna have to do something to.
Yeah.
Because right now,
every interaction with Judgment Day, though, if you notice, like it's like a little more where Balor's on Raw, there was an interaction with Judgment Day. He was like telling Dom, like, oh, they're saying you're a loser. They're saying all this stuff like that. You can't wrestle. You're a loser. You're this and that, whatever like that. And then he's like, but you're not like that. Not me. I got your back. It's like, I can't wait for Finn to turn his back and stab Dom in the back.
Turn.
Yeah, and he's had those moments where they're all talking and he's just
like he don't give a crap.
Yeah,
zoned out. Yeah.
Like he's often
like he's contemplating, like he's thinking of, he's planning in his head. What's the move here?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I love it. I'm a fan. I'm a Finn Balor fan, so I'm curious to see how it's going to go.
Yeah, they need to do something with him.
Yeah. But let's see, we'll close out the show. We got
we had Rey Mysterio got his match with El Grande, not Chad Gable.
Which is not Chad Gable. Don't get it confused.
And then we did close out the show with the Seth Rollins confronting Paul Heyman thing, and that's where I got the got the episodes twisted because there's no branding anymore.
Yeah,
but
it's just WWE at this point. There's no Raw or SmackDown. But
I think the biggest reason because I feel like that really happened once Raw went to Netflix.
Oh, okay, yeah.
You know what I mean? Because I feel like Netflix has given them a lot more eyeballs on Raw. So I feel like they've got to put people on Raw.
I think internationally, isn't SmackDown and NXT on Netflix now? Internationally?
I'm not sure.
Or that's supposed to start soon or something like that.
Internationally, I know that basically the WWE network is now on Netflix.
Okay.
So, and then
I know they want to get everything off of Peacock and onto Netflix. So like all the PLEs and shit, I know they want that to migrate over to Netflix.
If they do that, I can cancel that subscription.
Yeah, thank God.
Well, mine is included with Xfinity, so.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
Whatever. It's the only thing I watch on Peacock, so.
Yeah. Same.
I like how Seth once again, like, cryptically talking to Paul Heyman, like, oh, I have a way that you don't have to worry about all that stuff. And as he's going, I'm thinking like, yeah,
he's treating like Paul Heyman like old Yeller.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, right.
Just take me out back and shoot you.
Yeah. Hey, but there's a second of fight in Paul Heyman, just for a second though.
Don't you touch me!
You see what Seth Rollins? He's like, thank you, and then he throws him in the corner and just goes to try to attack him.
And then
I've never liked CM Punk.
And then Rollins stomped a mess out of Punk though.
Yeah,
but it was weird. Like, so I don't understand. Like, by you not stomping him, now he owes you a favor. Like,
he is the revolutionary.
With that logic, every time you pass him in the hallway and don't punch him in the face, he owes you a favor. Like, with that logic.
Yeah, like right? In high school. Hey, I punch you in the face, you owe me a favor.
If that's the case, if I'm Seth Rollins, anytime I'm walking by Paul Heyman, I'm like, gotcha.
Yeah.
That's another one.
Favor.
That's like 7.
Give him like a hard punch in the chest or something like that. Like open chest.
I don't think Seth Rollins really know what a favor owed is.
No. This is just like you didn't hit him, so now he owes you a favor. That's not.
Did you ever watch The Office? Like he brings in a bunch of bagels, so everyone in the office will owe him a favor, and then like the entire episode was just him and Andy going back and forth doing favors for each other, so they wouldn't owe the other a favor.
So great.
But that's kind of like that's how favors work, there, Seth. It's because I didn't stomp you, you owe me a favor. Well, everybody in traffic owes me a favor because I didn't.
It's you like ram into the back of them or
basically
bullying. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Well, I'm definitely curious how this is going to work out. Like, what does Seth really think he's going to ask? And if I'm Roman Reigns, you already got beef with Seth. Now he's messing with your wise man. That's more of a reason for us to see Punk and Roman team up on Seth. And then, I don't know. I'm curious to see how this is going to go.
Yeah.
But I can definitely see Roman getting a little pissed off that everybody's trying to get his
man.
Yeah, get his wise man. But you said it earlier, Jeff, in the chat that this show wasn't that great, and I agree with you. Like it had some good moments, but it wasn't that great.
Well, I think that they had to finish this Paul Heyman custody match, segue into WrestleMania on Raw because neither Cena or Cody Rhodes were on either show this week, so they had to have something for the ratings. Like we had to put somebody in this, to keep so people would watch the episode.
You got to promote it, locally. You'll see, like, oh, Cody Rhodes will be in attendance tonight, or Roman Reigns will be in attendance tonight.
Can you imagine?
At least keep the numbers up.
Could you imagine being a fan and in this city, and you're like, okay, I'm going to buy Raw tickets. No Cena, no Cody Rhodes, no CM Punk, no Seth Rollins, no Paul Heyman. I'm not buying tickets to this fucking event. They had to do something, and it was just like, they had the day off, and
I think they're giving some rest before Mania because they know Mania they're going to have all the all the signings. They're going to have, all the appearances. They're going to have 2 nights of Mania. So
Yeah.
I think you're going to see the bigger stars. Like, they're going to tie up some loose ends, but your bigger established ones that are already set, like the main eventers, like I don't think you're going to see a lot of them. Maybe just a couple talking points or something.
I do think the next couple of weeks will be pretty good episodes going forward, like for both brands.
But they're going to have to be.
Yeah.
You got to keep it building up.
You can't have another Raw episode like the Monday before WrestleMania. You just can't.
You had your week off. Now this next month is going to be
it's go time.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. But I do think that's a good place to end it. It's almost 11:30 and I got to be up at 6. So
good call.
So if you're still here watching, make sure you drop a like, hit the notification bell so you don't miss anything. Head over to Curtis Podcast Network. Do the same. If you like football, this AFC South show, me and Justin are on Unstabled. So show some love. Do the clicks, hit the buttons, do the things. We appreciate your support. Drop comments, anything you agree with, don't agree with, please let us know. We love to talk about it. So we'll see y'all next week after, of course, SmackDown and Raw in the road to WrestleMania. We'll see y'all next time. And as Curtis says, be good people.
Be good people.
See y'all next time.